I discovered my husband was cheating on me with his secretary, and my 15-year marriage was destroyed. But instead of crying, I met with my husband's biggest business rival, Victoria. I said, I want to work with you to destroy Robert. 6 months later, my husband had lost his wife, his business, and his reputation. And I had become a millionaire. Asterisk, my name is Elena Martinez. I'm 42 years old. And until 6 months ago, I had a perfect life. I had been married to my husband, Robert Martinez, for 15 years in Miami. Robert was the owner of a successful construction company, CEO of Martinez Construction. I was the company's chief financial officer. A perfect couple, a perfect business partnership. Until that Tuesday evening when I saw those messages on Robert's phone. Robert was in the shower. His phone was connected to the charger. A message notification came, and the screen lit up. Tonight was incredible, baby. Can't wait for tomorrow's meeting. Sender, Amanda Richardson. Amanda was our company's new marketing director, 26 years old, long blonde hair, a very beautiful girl. Robert had hired her 8 months ago. The company needs young energy, he had said. My heart raced. But I didn't panic. Instead, I started investigating. Systematically, that night I checked Robert's phone. Months of messaging, romantic pictures, even hotel reservations. I learned that every business trip was actually a getaway with Amanda. But the real shock came when I saw another message. Amanda had written to Robert, when you divorce Elena and marry me, how will we divide the company? You should transfer shares to my name too, because I'm not only giving you my love, but also my strategy plans for Martinez Construction's growth. Robert's response was even worse. Don't worry, baby. Elena doesn't know how to value her shares in the company. During the divorce case, I'll offer her a low amount. You and I will build a new empire together. At that moment, everything became clear. This wasn't just cheating. This was a plan to destroy me both as a wife and as a business partner. But there was something Robert didn't know. I wasn't just a CFO. I was a smart businesswoman who invested in Miami's biggest construction projects. And I knew Robert's biggest rival very well. Victoria Sterling, CEO of Sterling Enterprises, 45 years old, very powerful, very intelligent woman. She and Robert had been in fierce competition for 10 years. They would bid on the same contracts, trying to beat each other. Robert always hated Victoria. That woman tries every way to beat us in every project, he would say. I wish we could wipe her out of the market. Now it was my turn to wipe them out of the market. The next day I didn't let anything show to Robert. Breath. Good morning, honey, I said as usual. Which projects will you look at today? There's a Brickell Avenue project, he said. I'll review the details with Amanda. I might be late. Of course, I said, smiling. Business first. That same afternoon I called Victoria Sterling. Victoria, I said, Elena Martinez, I want to meet with you. But this isn't just a social meeting. Business proposal. Victoria was surprised. Elena, are you Robert's wife? This is interesting. Where shall we meet? The next day we met at the Four Seasons. Victoria was a stylish, confident woman. After sitting at the table and ordering our coffees, I got straight to the point. Victoria, I said, I found out my husband is cheating on me. He's both cheating on me and trying to steal the company from me. I want to work with you. Victoria's eyes lit up. Continue. I have a 50% share in Martinez Construction, I said. And I know the entire financial situation of the company. Which projects we're investing in, which clients we have. I can share this information with you in return. I want to wipe Robert out of the market. Victoria leaned back. Elena, this is a very serious proposal. Robert's cheating situation doesn't concern me, but the business part is very interesting. What kind of information are you thinking of sharing? I pulled a file from my bag. Which bids Martinez Construction will enter in the next 6 months? Which clients we'll meet with, our financial situation, cash flow, weak points, everything. Victoria opened the file and started examining it. With this information I could know Robert's every move in advance, she said. I could take every bid before him. This would be unfair competition. Victoria, I said, smiling. When Robert is cheating and trying to steal the company, he's not thinking about unfair competition. I'm just protecting my rights. So what do you want, money? I want to become a partner in Sterling Enterprises, I said. When Martinez Construction collapses, I want to make a new beginning. I have experience, connections, and knowledge. Together we can build Miami's biggest construction empire. Victoria thought, then she extended her hand. Deal, Elena. But this must remain completely secret. Nobody should know. Of course, I said. Robert won't understand anything. From that day on, I started living a double life. During the day, a loving wife and trusted CFO at Martinez Construction. In the evenings, secretly meeting with Victoria, sharing Robert's plans as a strategic partner. We made our first move 2 weeks later. Robert was preparing to bid on a big residential project in Coral Gables. He had done all the calculations, determined the most competitive price, prepared his presentation. I gave Victoria all the details, his bid price, which materials he would use, which subcontractors he would work with. Victoria made a bid just 3% lower than Robert's and got the project. When Robert came home that evening, he was furious with anger. "Victoria beat us again," he shouted. "How is she always able to make better offers than us? Maybe she works more efficiently," I said calmly. "Or she has better suppliers." Robert looked suspiciously. "Elena, are you defending Victoria?" "No, honey," I said innocently. "I'm just trying to be objective. Maybe we can analyze and learn from her strategy." We made our second move a month later. I knew Robert would have a meeting with one of his biggest clients, Ocean View Hotel chain. Victoria contacted them one day before Robert's meeting. She offered a price 15% lower than what Robert would propose, and of course, she got the contract in 3 months. Robert lost for big projects. The company's cash flow started decreasing. Robert was becoming increasingly paranoid. "Elena," he said one evening, "it's like someone is leaking our information to Victoria. Otherwise, it's impossible for her to make such accurate moves." "Robert, that's ridiculous," I said. "Who would do such a thing? I'm the company's CFO. Amanda is your marketing director. We're both loyal to you." When I mentioned Amanda, Robert's face turned red. He felt guilty, but for the wrong reason. Meanwhile, my partnership with Victoria was going very well. She had given me a 25% share in Sterling Enterprises. I was giving her every detail of Martinez construction, which projects Robert was focusing on, which strategies he would try, how bad his financial situation was. In the 4th month we made the big move. Miami-Dade County had opened a bid for a huge infrastructure project, a $50 million project. If Robert could get this project, he could save his company. Of course, I had given Victoria every detail of Robert's bid strategy, which subcontractors he would work with, material prices, profit margin, even the presentation format. Victoria's bid was perfect, 8% lower than what Robert planned, but offering 12% more value proposition. Because she knew Robert's weak points, when the result was announced, Robert jumped up. Sterling Enterprises had won the project. "This is impossible," he shouted. "Someone is sabotaging us. There's a spy in the office." That night, Robert had an emergency meeting with Amanda. Of course, I was listening to behind the office door. "Amanda," Robert was saying, "someone is leaking company information." "Who could it be, Robert?" "My only suspect is Elena," said Amanda. "She has access to all financial information, and she seems a bit distant lately." My heartbeat accelerated. But Robert was surprised. "Elena, no, impossible. She's my wife. Why would she do such a thing?" "Maybe she knows about our relationship," said Amanda. "Maybe she's taking revenge." "No," said Robert decisively. "If Elena knew something, she would have left already. She's not the type to play such games. It must be someone else." I was pleased that Amanda couldn't convince Robert, but now I had to be more careful. In the 5th month we made the final move. Robert's last big hope to save Martinez Construction was a partnership deal. They were going to start working with Takeshi Corporation from Japan. Takeshi was planning big investments in Miami. Victoria also had connections with Japanese firms. We met directly with Mr. Yamamoto, Takeshi's CEO. Victoria told him about Sterling Enterprises' capacity, past project successes, and most importantly, that they dominated the Miami market. I shared with Mr. Yamamoto Martinez Construction's financial problems, the projects lost in the last 5 months, and doubts about Robert's reliability. Mr. Yamamoto made his decision. They would work with Sterling Enterprises. When Robert learned this, he completely collapsed. This had been the final blow. That evening when he came home, Amanda was with him too. They weren't hiding anymore. "Elena," said Robert, "we need to talk." "Sure," I said calmly. "Sit down." Amanda and I, "Well, are you together?" I asked. "I know Robert." They were both surprised. "How long have you known?" asked Amanda. 5 months, I said. "I saw your phone messages." Robert bowed his head. "Elena, I'm sorry. I didn't want it to be like this." "So you didn't want to share the company with me either?" I asked. Robert was surprised. "What do you mean?" "I read the messages you wrote to Amanda." "Robert, you were going to try to trick me in the divorce case and buy my company shares below value. You were going to build a new empire with Amanda." Robert and Amanda looked at each other. They were caught. "Elena, you misunderstood," said Robert. "No, Robert," I said laughing. "I understood everything very well. In fact, I understood so well that for the past 5 months I've been working with Victoria Sterling." "What?" Robert shouted. "With Victoria?" "Yes," I said. "How do you think you lost every project? I gave her every plan of yours, every bid price, every strategy. Every weak point. The reason Victoria has been so successful is me. Robert jumped up. You sabotaged us. I protected myself, Robert, I said calmly. While you were cheating and trying to steal the company, I secured my own future. Amanda intervened. Elena, this is illegal. Giving company information to a rival firm. I laughed. Amanda, you're having a relationship with a married man and trying to steal a company from his wife. And you're talking about legality, so what happens now? Asked Robert. Now we're getting divorced, I said. And I'll start my new life as a partner of Sterling Enterprises. You and Amanda can start your new life owning a sinking company. Robert's face had gone completely white. Elena, if the company goes bankrupt, we'll both lose everything. No, Robert, I said. I already got compensation for everything I lost. My 25% share in Sterling Enterprises is more valuable than 50% of Martinez Construction. Victoria and I built Miami's most powerful construction firm. You lose, I win. 6 months later, our divorce case was concluded. Robert owned 75% of Martinez Construction, but the company's value was close to zero. No customers left, big projects had been lost. I, as a 25% partner of Sterling Enterprises, owned shares worth $15 million. Victoria and I were managing Miami's biggest construction projects. Robert and Amanda got married, but their marriage didn't last long. The company went bankrupt. Robert went broke. Amanda also left him and got together with someone else. She was a marketing director at her new company, of course. Some people never change. Today, Victoria and I manage Sterling Martinez Enterprises. Our signature is on more than 40% of Miami's major construction projects. I didn't just get revenge, I became a stronger, richer, and more independent woman. Victoria told me last week, Elena, you're my best strategic partner. Robert losing you was our gain. Victoria, I said. Sometimes life's biggest losses turn into the biggest opportunities. When Robert lost me, I found myself, while my husband was cheating and trying to steal the company, I worked with his biggest rival. While he underestimated me and thought I was weak, I was making plans to destroy him. They say revenge is served cold, but I think revenge is more effective when served with strategic partnership, because the revenge you can't take alone. You can take with the right ally.